Caleb Williams throwing today about 10 o'clock, about 15 minutes from now. And our buddy Matt Leinart, 7 years in the NFL. Love having him at Fox Sports College Football. So let's go back to your pro day and the current format for pro days. Were you nervous? Is it, everybody always thinks, oh, you're throwing in shorts. It's all that. I would be nervous if I had 45 NFL guys there. Take me back to your pro day, how you felt.
Yeah, you guys got to remember, back at my pro day, it was myself, it was Reggie, it was Lendell White, it was Dominic Byrd. We had, I don't know how many guys we had drafted that year, but we had a bunch, and it was a spectacle. That was Colin, those years. That was the years where everybody wanted to come see everybody, and Reggie obviously was the big name, and we had a lot of talent. Very similar setup. It's quiet so far. The guys are out here testing behind me. Obviously, Caleb is I'm planning on seeing him put on a show here in a few minutes, but it's great to be back here. Our pro day, there's a lot of nerves. Even though, because, you just kind of talked about the quarterbacks moving up and down. This is a big day for these guys. Kind of that final test to get in front of these coaches, these GMs, the scouts, everybody, and show what you can do. Now, there's going to be some private workouts held here in the next couple of weeks for some of these guys, but there's a lot on the line. You have the combine, you have the whole interview process, but now you get one final chance to come out at your school in front of some of your fans, your coaches, and you've worked, and now you're trying to work to maybe increase some of the numbers that you had from the combine as some of the guys ran the 40 or some of the drills. You want to try and improve and get better, but there's a lot of nerves. But I remember us, we were all together. There was like 15 or 20 of us. We're like, hey, this is what we built here. Let's go out. This is our dream. We get a chance to go and show off in front of these scouts and these coaches and these general managers and just go do our thing. For me personally, it was nerve-wracking. My days, I didn't have a great pro day. I also knew, I'm not going to wow people with the way I throw the ball in shorts and a T-shirt. For me, it was more kind of up here and being able to understand systems and offenses. But the very next day for me, I had a private workout for the Tennessee Titans at the time with Coach Chow. Coach Chow was the offensive coordinator. So I had my pro day one day, and that night I met with the whole Titans brass. And the very next day I had a private workout, and I had a much better workout. Just with the receivers came in and flew in town. So this is a wild kind of day and a wild couple of weeks for these guys.
So with Caleb Williams, I think the first thing you jump and see is, wow, he moves really well. He's a playmaker. There is a criticism, and I think it's fair, that sometimes he leans into the spectacular. He certainly did in year 2. Your takeaway, as you know, what makes Mahomes so great now is that in the first couple years, he tended to lean into the spectacular. Now he'll take underneath stuff for 3.5 hours. Is that something that worries you about Caleb?
It's a great point, and Mahomes is a perfect example because he has that ability. And I think you do need to have that ability, especially at the next level. You have to be able to extend. You don't have to be Lamar Jackson or these guys that can run all over. You just have to be able to extend outside the pocket, pick up some yards with your legs. But where you make your money, where you win a Super Bowl, where you get to the playoffs, is you have to be able to deliver within the pocket, third downs, red zone, crunch time. Take the underneath stuff, take the check downs, and move the chains. And to your point, and I would just say this, and I know, Colin, you've probably seen enough film. Last year, USC wasn't great up front. There were a lot of times where I feel like Caleb he took the snap, he would kind of wait, and then he would just do what he did because he was the best athlete on the field. You can't get away with that at the next level. He knows that. Everybody knows that. So I think it was a combination of sometimes he probably wants to play a little bit that way because he knows that's one of his best things he can do. But also at the end of the day, too, he had to protect himself. And sometimes that is getting outside the pocket and making those plays. So I think he can get better in the pocket. There's always room for improvement. And we all know he's probably going number 1 to the Bears, and what they've done they had DJ Moore, they got Keenan Allen, they've picked up some nice pieces around him so that he can probably feel more comfortable being able to play between the tackles, get the ball out on time, get it to a sure-handed guy like Keenan Allen, who's been doing it for a long time. DJ Moore is a fantastic player. So I think it's one of those things where I think as he gets better people around him, and that's not a knock on USC and the guys that he had, it's just that's the truth, especially at the next level.
So it's interesting. J.J. McCarthy is wowed people at the whiteboard at the Combine. That matters. I was told years ago that's where Baker beat Darnold, was on the whiteboard. He was very good. Secondly, he came in. I was worried, Matt, you're a big guy. Now, you've lost a lot of weight. You're in great shape. But when I first met you, you're an athlete. You're a pro athlete. You're a big guy, big shoulders. When I saw J.J. McCarthy, my first take was, man, he is spindly. And then he came in 20 pounds heavier, sort of Aaron Rodgers size at the combine. So then I think, okay, I have to readjust what I think. When you watch J.J. McCarthy, do you have a concern, and what do you love?
I had the same concern because obviously, we cover Michigan a bunch of Big Noon Kickoff, and I got to know him personally, and I've seen him on the field, I've seen him play, and you're kind of like, oh God, he's not that big. He's big enough, and as you just said, he's put on weight. He'll continue to put on weight and play at a weight that he's comfortable where he can still move. I don't have a lot of concerns with him, and this is why. I think. One, he's been tutored by one of the best coaches, one of the best quarterback coaches we've seen in Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is fantastic, and he had that for the last 3 years to learn under him, to learn how to play the position at the highest level, and basically to learn and do what's been asked of him. I think the biggest, he's an enigma still, Colin, because when you look at his tape, there's games. I remember the game last year at Penn State. We were there. I think he handed the ball off 32 straight times. He wasn't asked to do a whole lot. He didn't have to do a whole lot.
Right.
But when he was asked to make the plays, you're like, wow, this kid can spin it. This kid's got a really good arm. This kid's going to run a 4.4, 4.5. He is a tremendous athlete. So I think there's still a lot of that with a lot of these teams. They're excited about him because his ceiling is through the roof, because you haven't really seen a whole lot from him because of just the way they ran their system at Michigan. He is a fantastic kid. You talked about the whiteboard, being able to retain information, being able to go out there and be a coach on the field, a leader. All of those things are equally as important as the physical traits. And he has the physical traits. He hasn't been Caleb where he's running around doing all these things. I think he has the ability to do those things. And I'm telling you what, he's going to continue to move up these charts. He's going to knock out all the interviews. He's going to throw the ball extremely well. He's going to run well. He's a great kid. He's likable. He's personable. He's got it, man. He's got all of those factors you want. And he's going to be taken. He might be taken in the top 10. I mean, he's going to be taken. One of these teams, a Minnesota, or some of these teams, or a Denver, someone is going to go up and grab him. And I think he's a tremendous player.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.